I loved Ocarina of Time like everybody did back in the day.
Ocarina?
Yeah.
Ocarina?
I've never said it the other way, and I never will.
All right. Welcome to This Week in Nerd History, a podcast where we talk about all the fun, dumb, nerdy stuff from the past, present, and future. I'm Mike. Joining me, as always, we got AJ and Sal. How are you guys doing?
Yep.
Sleepy.
Yeah, no,
Still sleepy.
we went to AJ and I and Holly and Dan. We went to go see Bare Naked Ladies on Sunday night.
Cool.
There's a stadium that's like 5 minutes down the road from here. It was like ultimate night. It was Fastball, Sugar Ray, and then Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh my God.
we missed Fastball. I don't think they were on for very long.
You missed the way.
I heard it.
We missed the way.
But,
I heard it from miles away.
And then when Sugar Ray came out, that dude was like, he put on a really good show, but it was like, he mentioned the 90s like no less than 20 times.
He loved to point out that he still has frosted tips, which is amazing.
Yeah.
That's not something you want to draw attention to.
He was good. He was like making fun of himself. It was good. And then like, he just seemed like a big idiot. So it's kind of funny.
He's a guest VJ sometimes on the Sirius XM's 90s on 9 station.
Oh. So he's like very in tune with making 90s jokes constantly.
So yes, he's definitely like just busting out probably his tight five when he's like setting up the next Counting Crows song. I'm sorry. Every time I hear about Sugar Ray, I think of that video when it was like the top of his game / the end, and he's like at some thing, like some signing or something, and someone goes, "Hey, it's Sugar Gay." And he goes, "Who's a Sugar Gay?" Like he immediately loses it. And it's this 13-year-old kid. And he's just, this kid is in his element. Because he's like, yes, he reacted. And he gets right in the kid's face. The kid's just like, like
You're not gonna beat the kid. You're not
gonna beat him. He's like, say that again. He's like, you really don't want me to. I know. We got really mad. I'm like, that guy. Yeah, he's heard that 1,000 times until now.
What Dan really wanted to find, either before or while we were in the show, was he remembers like this MTV like short little plug that he did where he says like, "My name isn't Sugar Ray. My name is Mark McGrath." It's awesome. Not Sugar Ray.
Yeah, because I always call him Sugar Ray. My name isn't Sugar Ray.
I'm in the band Sugar Ray.
It's called Sugar Ray. I'm Mark McGrath. You should catch him on the 90s on 9 thing. He comes in, he's like, "Hey, it's me, Mark McGrath. I just want to fly. You know who it is." And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I got it.
Within like the first like 2 minutes of him getting on stage, he's like, "It's 1999" or something like that. And then I don't know exactly the context of it because I missed the first part, but he mentioned rotary phones. I'm like, all right, man, what are you doing?
He was setting. I also was like, what the hell is this? He was setting up his next song that was about calling your ex-girlfriend.
Oh, he was. Okay, I totally missed that
yeah.
part then. I thought it was just going to be like, remember this thing from the 90s.
Remember beepers. Remember 07734. When you call your friend's beeper.
Make sure to star 69 myself.
Oh my God.
That's funny. I saw Weird Al at Madison Square Garden.
I'm going to see him tomorrow.
Oh shit!
I'm so pumped.
It's so
How
great.
was it?
Oh, it was transcendental.
Nice.
It was genuinely
So
great. I had an amazing time. And so we sit down and I look up at this effing speaker and I'm like, that looks just like the speaker that I saw at the Metallica concert. Oh no. I need earplugs. And then this clown came up and starts belting out show tunes because his opener's a clown.
Oh, like an actual literal clown.
Yeah, not like Bozo. Like he's a non-colored clown. Like he is a black and white clown. So like he could do anything. You're like,
okay.
You see a clown of many colors, he has to at least juggle. Mm-hmm. But if you see a clown wearing like a cone or a crown, and he is black and white, he could do anything. He could helicopter dick. He could sing a song. You never know. But anyway, he starts singing, and I'm like, oh my God. And my wife just goes, it's kind of loud.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, yeah. She's like, should we take care? Like, what should we do? And I'm like, I don't know how to this. And she got like paper towels and like put them in our ears, and it worked out great. But it was I don't have any like necessary, like I don't have any ringing or tinnitus or anything, but it worked out. But I was like, this is amazing. Oh no.
Oh no.
He went from this is the best to this is a problem.
I'm gonna have to check where our seats are and maybe accommodate for that.
Get the earplugs. It's worth it.
Might need the earplugs.
You might. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we're in the back and it won't be so bad.
How old is Weird Al? He's like
65.
ageless. Wow, that's
Yeah?
awesome.
Yeah, I looked it up because I everyone I've talked to has said, "How old is Weird Al?"
You gotta know. We're actually doing a meet and greet afterwards, but
we
Dan
couldn't get
just
them this
figured
year.
out. He just figured out that you pay for it, and we thought that we would all be able to go in, but it's actually only for one person to like get a photo with him. So we're like, it's gonna be me and Dan and Felix. And so we think we're just going to send Felix in. And they said, like, an adult can accompany them.
Okay.
But, like, the adult can't be part of the photo op.
Right.
So probably Dan and Felix will go in, and I'll just be left behind, just hanging out in Mohegan Sun by myself for an hour or more, however long it takes. It's going to be
awesome.
It's going to be long.
We're going to talk about Back to the Future, 40-year anniversary. I got a little animation breakdown thing for KPop Demon Hunters, which has been all over Netflix.
I was going to ask about if you guys knew about KPop Demon Hunters.
Do you guys want to watch the Mortal Kombat trailer, or you want to talk
Yes.
about the Zelda
Yes.
thing first?
Mortal Kombat.
You're Johnny Cage. I loved Citizen Cage when I was a kid.
Are you shitting me? You don't have any powers? Just incredibly handsome.
This looks like a fan trailer.
I know.
It looks like he's going to be a little bit out of his element there.
Yeah.
I love the approach because I didn't mind the first one. It was like, whatever. Out of Mortal Kombat movies,
It was one of them.
yes. But it was like, I was like, why did they make this new dude the main character? This really seems like they just like, all right. They showed that dude for like 1 second in this trailer there, I think.
Oh, I didn't even recognize him. That's hilarious.
Yeah. But then, just put Johnny Cage in there, make him the main dude. That seems so great. There's still like, no matter how cool they try to make it, there's always just an element of cheeseball to Mortal
Get
Kombat.
over here.
They just used the sound for the game.
I know.
I wonder
no
if they're even
accent
in the
to-
movie. Like, I bet it's just for the trailer.
Yeah,
I hope
yeah.
it isn't.
I
I
know.
don't know if I'm ever going to see this.
But they just always like, they have to do the catchphrases or whatever. They can't not do it. It's like impossible not to. It's like a tick. They just have to do it.
I mean, it looks like Mortal Kombat. How about we fight? Yes!
Yep.
And if the attacks are as accurate to the video games as possible, the people who are watching it after pirating it will clap their hands.
All right, it's time for another edition of Companies Send Me Stuff to check out. I tell you if I like it or not, and then you decide if you want to get it. Simple as that. This week, FlexiSpot was nice enough to send me 2 of their C7 desk chairs to check out. And a reminder, I'm not getting any kind of commission from these, so if you like it, there's a link in the description. Check it out if you want. All right, let's get started. First of all, the timing of this couldn't have been better because this is my current chair. I sit in this thing all day long, and to be honest, I don't really remember where it came from. It just sort of showed up at the studio one day. I've tried to get rid of it a couple times and it just keeps coming back. Anyway, here's a look at the FlexiSpot C7 and the C7 Max. The first thing you notice is they're both very high quality, which is what you would want from like a $300 to $500 price range. Let me start with the C7. It's got a 3-part mesh back and an option for foam or mesh seat. I went with the foam. You can adjust the headrest and the lumbar, which is great. My old chair was just like 2 milk crates tied together, so anything above that is pretty sweet. You can also adjust the seat forward and back and angle down. The armrests are adjustable and they swivel. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Overall, it feels worth the cost. It feels premium in quality, especially over like a standard desk chair. The con for me is the armrests, the swivel on the armrest to be specific. I tend to like readjust my sitting position a lot depending on what I'm working on. And I prop myself up on the armrests to kind of like sit up a little bit. So when I did that on the C7, the armrest swiveled out. So I kind of had to like adjust a second time. And it's just like a little bit kind of jarring. They don't feel stable if I'm like pushing up and they suddenly swing out. But overall, it's a really solid chair. I would recommend it. I just wish it had like a lock on the swivel. All right, so over to the C7 Max. This one is definitely a step up from the C7, but it has a lot of the same stuff too. It's got the 3-part mesh back and padded armrests. More on the armrests in a minute too. You can adjust the seat depth. The entire back height can be adjusted. That seat cushion is memory foam. There's adjustable reclining, so if you want to sit upright or lean way back, it feels very stable when you're doing that too, which is great. And it's got an optional footrest for $40, which I opted for here. And it's got the 5D armrest. It's easily the most comfortable chair I've had in a very long time. But similar to the C7, I have an issue with the armrests. These 5D armrests have like a ton of flexibility, which is really cool depending on like how close you want to get to your desk. But similar, like when I'm pushing myself up on them, they just swing out like a little bit out of control. But I really wish there was just like a locking system on there so I can get them in the right spot and just lock it into place. Overall, these are two really high quality chairs and something that I would recommend to anybody who sits at a desk all day like myself. It really kind of comes down to if you want to spend a little bit more for the extra bells and whistles. If that's the case, I think the C7 Max is a really good choice. That's what I'm sitting in now. If you're cool with a really comfortable desk chair and something that is a big step up from something that you just get at Staples, then I don't think you can go wrong with the C7. All right, so if you're interested, the link is in the description and we have a promo code C750. Enter that code, you get $50 off the C7 Max. Go check them out. I hope this review helped. I gotta go. I think my old chair just came back again. I gotta go. The other video game news stuff.
Oh yeah.
I don't know when it's coming out. Zelda movie.
Yeah.
They announced like the cast, who's gonna be Link and who's gonna be Zelda, and like I was like, oh, who's it gonna be? And it's like 2 kid actors. I'm like, I don't know who they are. And then 2 seconds later, I'm like, why would I know who? Like, I shouldn't know who these kids are. Like,
yeah.
Keeping track of like all the kid actors in the world. So I was like, it's like, all right, yeah, no, get it together, Mike. You shouldn't know who these kids are.
It's May 7th, 2027.
After
cool.
2027.
the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
But
That's
I saw the photos. I'm like, all right, Link looks like a little kid. So like, cool. That seems about right.
I get the idea of like, let's make Link super young so we can just get like 17 Zelda movies out of this.
Yeah.
Sure.
But also, every Zelda game is a reboot. You could cast a million Links.
Yep.
Like, you don't actually need the same guy to be Link. In fact, it's rarer to get a direct sequel to Zelda. Unless Breath of the Wild, which would make the most sense if they were going to make that movie.
The trailer's going to be like he goes into a cave and it's an old man in there. He's like, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Like, all right. It's going to be the equivalent of get over here.
Yes. I hope so. I've always wanted to see a Zelda movie. I don't love Zelda games. Like, I'm just bad at them. But I appreciate the lore and the concepts and everything. I loved Ocarina of Time like everybody did back in the day.
Ocarina?
Yeah.
Ocarina?
What did I say?
This podcast is
Ocarina.
over.
Smash.
Yeah. I've never said it the other way. And I never will.
All right, so I'm going to do a little animation breakdown. There is a movie that came out end of June, K-Pop Demon Hunters on Netflix. Super popular. It was made by Sony Animation, so it's got a lot of like Spider-Verse sort of. Not that it's like everything out of Sony Animation is going to be like look like Spider-Verse, but like they've experiment with animation and like the style and stuff a lot for this movie. It's super fun. It's about a K-pop group that is on there, also Demon Hunters, and then like yeah, and then they've got to
pretty self-explanatory.
They've got to fight like a boy band of demons, and like they're all stealing the souls of their fans and stuff like that. It's like a 3D anime in terms of just like the facial expressions and stuff, and some of the animation. So I'm just going to start with this. This is just an action sequence in the. So that sequence
Nailed it.
Pretty nuts. Like, there's a cool thing that they do in this too, that a lot of movies are kind of messing around with more, is just the frame rate of like different characters animated in different frame rates and stuff like that. And they do this here where these 3 are animated on 2s mostly. Yeah. So they're just like a little bit choppy and it's just like a stylistic thing. But then like the sleek boy band group are animated on 1s mostly. So there's just like this stylistic kind of, or just like this visual difference between the 2 of them that like, without like overtly saying like we're very different, it's just like a visual thing that kind of like clicks in a little bit. But yeah, there's a really cool thing that they're doing here for this whole last sequence where they're kind of rotating. Oof, that's a rough frame to land on. So this whole sequence here where the camera's rotating around the room, and they keep doing this to track it, where all you're seeing is like you keep coming back to like the character's eyes as they come across. So like a lot of times it's the brightest thing in the frame, and it's kind of center frame for the most part, and then like the swoosh will bring you around to the next. And also too, like these characters are probably just the most in focus with some highlights and stuff on it. Everything else is muted back a little bit, so it helps track all your action. So she's gone, and then like her hair helps kind of whip in and bring in the next character, and like you catch her eyes for a second there.
Yeah.
It's just crazy like planning out all this stuff to get it to work. And then there's another bright spot here, so your eyeball goes over here, it passes on to her, and you see her eyes, and her weapon whips around. This is like it goes all the way from here to there.
Yeah.
In one frame. And again, you're seeing the eyes again. I don't know how you plan this out.
No.
The boards,
How do you do this?
insane to me how you can get that and be like, yes, this will work. Just trust me. Go through all the steps of like blocking out a shot and getting the camera and spinning around and everything, and then like realize that it actually works, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So that was just like a cool, like, visual or director decision action sequence. Some of the other stuff is this is what I'm talking about with like the anime stuff. It's
I love these so
ridiculous. I mean, there's more and more of these sort of where everybody's breaking the mold a bit and really just pushing things. So this one, obviously it's a heavy anime influenced, but these facial expressions are fucking bonkers. I mean, this is just straight up anime. It's just like the action line, the lines on the forehead and stuff. This one is so funny. It's just like, it's 2D eyes.
Yeah.
But a 3D mouth, and there's a little bit of head shake gives you like the depth in there. And then I love how like simple it is. Like this is obviously they're all look insane here and funny. And then just to get out of these into their regular faces, it's just boop.
Just
back to normal. Boop. Like they don't, there's no like morphing or anything. They don't even bother. They don't have to. And then it's just, all right. And then they're gone. And this sequence here, this is like a simple shot.
Oh no!
So I mean, the mouth is
gift
ridiculous. I know. I think my fucking mouse is dead. So even just like small things that they're doing here for this shot. There's like a lot of little decisions that are being made here.
Yeah.
Like the two opposing actions is to make it interesting, because you could just easily just have her just do that with herself and have like the roll stay in the middle.
Yeah, just save so much energy and time.
Exactly. But like if you look at like her nostrils, like their nose is dragging. Flare. Yeah, the nostrils are flaring. Like her brow and her pupils, her brow lifts and her pupils get smaller. And then like there's a more drag from like her jaw and her mouth, and then like you just get the strong pose from here. Yes. This one's great too. This is crazy. They're all just like snacking like crazy on an airplane. But then she turns into like a little kid. It's like so fucking fun and creative. But like, again, they're just, from this, she's just gathering all the snacks in the air and then instantly into a little kid, just now chomping on it.
No.
Look at that, how like there's actually, it looks like her like mouth is three-dimensional. It looks like you can see the chips getting like lost inside, like they're actually going behind the teeth and into the cheeks, but everything else is two-dimensional.
It's so great.
Yeah.
It's just so fast and simple. This one's great. This is just like a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon, this sequence here.
Yeah.
Even his eyeballs pop out.
Yeah, it's super quick. Like they drag the eyeballs.
I was going to say, was there a drag? Yeah.
And then it just turns into a cartoon,
oh my God.
2D eyeballs there.
That reminds me of like smearing in animation.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Those in-between frames where you're like, oh no, don't. Yep. You need it. But it like looks insane when you isolate it.
So
hey,
they go for like the big wacky things, and then just like the class, or like more goofy. This whole sequence, great.
I appreciate the change in camera angle for that joke originally, like where it could have just been the head on. He comes out of the darkness, tips it over, Yeah, this.
Yeah.
It could have just been stuck here and just done that for like 3 minutes. But the fact that we actually did like an alternate take, like it tricks your brain into thinking that something different's going to happen, which allows the joke to be like refreshed.
Yeah, definitely.
Good stuff.
A lot of cool decisions in that.
I came home one day and Dan and Felix were watching it, and every like 5 minutes, Dan would just look over at me and say, "K-pop Demon Hunters." And I was like, "What?" I thought it was a TV show because I didn't know. I was like, "Oh, is this episode over?" But it was just, I just caught the tail end of the movie, but then we watched it again a few times. The music does slap. Check it out.
Good stuff. All right, this is Yesterday in Nerd History. It's the 40-year anniversary of Back to the Future. Originally came out in, what was it,
85.
I remember, like, when that came out, I'm almost positive I saw it in the theater. But I remember being so fucking hyped for the to be continued at the end. I was like, holy shit, they're making more of these things. It was like the best possible thing I could imagine. I was so excited.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember like when the second one came out, but I was like excited for however many
I think it was
years
like a couple years later because I want to say Back to the Future 3
It was
like
written to be a
89.
fully standalone originally.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
So when did they decide to do the to be continued then at the end?
That was after. I think they added it for the home release.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And yeah, like, because I'll tell you, I did not see it in theaters, but I did see it on TV a lot for some reason. And I was like, lame. Like, I as a kid, I didn't understand. I didn't have any connection to it until I want to say, like, college is when I actually
Enjoyed it?
I think it's when I actually watched it for the first, like when I actually watched it full length. The rest of the time I was just like, yeah, I get it. He goes to back in time, has some laughs, something about his mom, and then, he comes back and that's great. Then I watched it. And I think like the only way to like experience Back to the Future for the first time is when you are either a kid and or old enough to appreciate it.
Yeah.
You can't be like a cynical teenager and be like, just that will not help you.
Yeah.
It will not melt your icy heart, but it's so good and it's so.
What if you're like an emotional teenager though?
I don't know if it would appeal to you because the movie is so fun and doesn't take itself seriously. Like it doesn't, go there. And I value it so much. It is a comedy first, but not in the way that Ghostbusters is.
Yeah,
like it is a perfect movie. I want to say it's everything I want out of that kind of movie. It doesn't try to get heavy, but when it does, it's heavy for the world you're in and not for like what real life is.
Yeah,
it's just fun. It's fun and pure and joyful.
Yeah,
and I'm thankful for it. There's so few of them, where it's like, oh, everyone looks like they're having a great time, and not at the expense of the movie. I've gotten that note before. It looks like you guys were having a great time. I'm like, fair. We were. I'm glad that came across. Did you like the story? Hell no.
No.
Every time you see like more behind the scenes or deleted, you're just like, yeah, they were having a great time. Once they got Eric Stoltz out of there, everybody just unclenched and had a great time.
I didn't know until literally like 2 weeks ago when you first were like, today is the anniversary of Back to the Future. And I was like, let me look up some stuff. I didn't know that it was originally shot with an entirely different actor playing Marty McFly. That's insane.
That's why Crispin Glover looks nothing like Michael J. Fox, but looks kind of like Eric Stoltz.
But Michael J. Fox was their first
He
pick.
was what they wanted, yeah.
It's just they couldn't get him to do it because of he was filming Family Ties.
Yeah. That's right.
They eventually were like, Eric Stoltz was like too drama heavy. He like took himself real seriously, and they were like, this is not hitting the beats that we need. We need some comedy infused here. Yeah. And they kicked him out. Yeah, and then I read Michael J. Fox had to like work just an insane amount to get this done. He had to promise that they wouldn't change the Family Ties schedule. So he rehearsed for Family Ties and filmed from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then he would rush back to the Back to the Future set where he would rehearse and shoot until 3:30 in the morning. And he did that for 2 months.
That's insane.
He slept like 4 hours a night for 2 months to get this done.
That's
insane. It's fantastic. And I even like somebody commented online saying that like there's a another layer to his performance that you really couldn't fake, in that he was like a little bit exhausted,
A little bit delirious.
a little bit delirious, and it really adds a layer to his performance for, you know, what Marty McFly must have been feeling all the time, being a little bit insane in another time period.
There's so many like weird Easter eggs where it's like, if you watch, you just enjoy the movie, especially because like you are just so sucked into the flick. You're just like, watch it. The Lone Pine Mall, it took, 5-6 watches before I'm like, oh my God. And that, when I saw it, so for those of you not familiar, the Twin Pines Mall is the setting for the Back to the Future time travel sequence. It's named after that because Old Man Peabody in 1955 was trying to breed pine trees, which is a joke in and of itself. They can't breed. You can't breed pine trees. So he has these two twin pines, and you actually see them. They're in the front of his house, but they don't draw attention to it. They don't make a big deal of it. When Marty escapes through the door and he runs over one of the pines, and Peabody's like, my pine! And then when you go back, it's called the Lone Pine Mall, which
I love it.
So funny, and I love that Peabody like won't let it go. Like he's so sad about his pine. He's like, one of the deals is you have to call it the Lone Pine Mall. But like, when I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, what other Easter eggs are in this movie? And it's like, oh, there are a lot, and they're all over the place. And then of course, when we get, you know, 1 or 2 movies deep, it's like, now they're starting to, you know, eat its own tail, but in a delightfully entertaining fashion. You're just like, yes, more references, more jokes.
When you're saying it like on the other movies and everything, I was just kind of realizing I don't think I have seen the full third one.
I don't think I've seen it at all, ever.
I got to tell you, it is the redheaded stepchild of the Back to the Future franchise, outside of the animated series, of course, which is atrocious. But
I feel like that sentence that you just said can be tacked on to so many of the things that we talk about.
Yeah. Like Bill and Ted.
Exactly.
I love, by the way, as a quick aside for the Bill and Ted animated series, I love that like Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves are the voices of Bill and Ted because they didn't know they could say no.
Wow.
Like they were like, so we're making a cartoon. Like, well, okay, guess we got to be Bill and Ted. And it's like, you don't have to be Bill and Ted. Like, yeah. I don't know if you noticed, but Bill Murray is not in Real Ghostbusters. I love the third one. I used to hate it, and now I genuinely love it. It's joyful. It's fun. It's as joyful and fun. It is self-indulgent, you know, because it's like it's a Western that no one asked for.
Right.
Like no one who loves Back to the Future is like, oh, and also I love Westerns. No one.
No.
But you could tell like they do. Like Zemeckis and company love them, and they want to do this, and they sew it into. Like in 2, they're like, we like Westerns, and we're gonna retcon people's characters to a lot
to shoehorn this. Yeah.
Like, well, because Marty famously doesn't have like a character arc in the first movie. He's just like, I want a 4x4, and then he gets one at the end. Which apparently,
I loved that. Seeing that thing, I was like, "That's fucking awesome." I like that.
Yeah. Apparently, that cheesed off Crispin Glover. He was like, "What? The lesson is material possession? No, like they shouldn't be rich at the end. It should be family." And it's like it is family and money. But also, like, they wouldn't live in that house if they did have money. It's just like they have nicer stuff, but they still live under a cell or under a telephone tower. It's like, whatever. Just move on. Just don't focus on that. But yeah, but like then in 2, they're like, oh, and also Marty hates it when you call him a chicken. And I'm like, that feels new.
Tacked on.
Straight up is. And I mean, I appreciate that there is a lesson, but you know.
I wonder if when they were getting rid of Eric Stoltz, they're like, can we just throw on Crispin Glover while we're at it?
This guy is going to be a real. I feel like you're going to be a real pain in the ass.
If we're kind of cleaning house a little bit, can we just?
Yeah, let's just. You know, he kind of looks like Stoltz anyway. We got to get somebody who looks like Michael J. Fox, you know? I think that Glover does a really genuine job. Like, I like Glover in those movies. I think he has, like, an earnestness that, like, the movie needs, that everyone exhibits. He's great. But, yes, he is a pain in the ass. And he's the reason why, like, there's a law against, like, reusing and approximating actors' faces in movies. Because, like, they went, oh, shit, he's such a pain in the ass. We're just not going to put him in 2. And rumor has it, I think he said no to 2, and they were like, well, okay, what are we going to do about it? Well, we'll cast somebody to make a sound alike, and we'll just reuse footage of him. And And he was like, no. So, they went around that. But, he is famously a pain in the ass. Like, in everything he does.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. But also, George had his story. George is the protagonist, more or less, of Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Or a protagonist, certainly.
Yeah.
Marty's a protagonist with no arc. Again, by the way, that's not true. Like, Marty has the same self-doubt that his father has. Mm-hmm. Because he says, like, he doesn't want to take that kind of rejection for his band. The difference is that he's not afraid to go on stage. Like, it's not like, because he performed for the school in 1955, that shows that he grew. Like, no, you would have performed for the kids in 1985.
The second one starts with the scene.
The ending of the first one.
Right,
Yeah, and they just reshoot it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how well they got it. And it's another one of those things where it's like, look and you'll see, like, if there's a close up of, like, Doc opening up the Mr. Fusion, that's the same shot from the last
first one.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep. But just with Elizabeth Shue in it, and with a slightly different performance from Doc, where Marty's like, what's wrong with us in the future? Become assholes or something? Before, he's just like, no. In the new one, he's like, no.
Not exactly.
There's a man in a dog suit driving the car when they put Einstein in the time machine. You can't really tell because it's so far away.
It's
brilliant. Great knowing that. I'm like, he looks like Disney's Shaggy dog just driving the car. That's adorable. The shot when Doc Brown shows the two stopwatches, and he's like, "Oh, see, Annie's clock is exactly 1 minute behind mine," and it like ticks over. They didn't use computers or anything. They just had to set the clocks up.
Yeah.
And they were like, this was a real bitch. Like, just to get the clocks to perfectly in sync switch over. Like, they didn't have any other way of messing with it, so they just, like, waited until it was 1. And like, set it up. And I'm like, that's awesome. That they were like, we got to put every ounce of creative energy into this movie. And no shortcuts, just everything we can to make Back to the Future work.
They're not doing any more, right? Correct.
Nope. They have a like a thing, like a law in place for them.
Yeah.
Like, it's an official hard and fast rule. Like, no one can do anything with Back to the Future for as long as Bob Gale and Bob Zemeckis are alive.
Okay.
So they need to live forever.
Yeah.
Because the second they died,
I know.
Back to the Future, oh boy, I can't wait to see Marty go back to 2015. Yeah, no Back to the Future 4. The worst of it is that horrible cartoon, which did bring us Bill Nye, but still, it's not worth it.
Wait, what was the connection?
Bill Nye. Well, okay, so there were these like live action segments in the cartoon where Doc Brown, Christopher Lloyd's like, I'm not at work, why not? And he's like, I gotta create a science experiment, but I am just an actor. So now we're gonna go over to my science assistant, Bill. And then they cut to a show that Bill Nye used to make for like public access or whatever that they just licensed. And they showed you Bill Nye like doing a science experiment. This is an experiment with helium, and this is an experiment with hydrogen. Like, it's just like him just showing you what he was doing in a completely other location with a lesser version of a camera. Like, the camera quality's lower. It's great. But he's just like,
no
"You're right,
idea."
Bill?" And Bill doesn't acknowledge that happened in any way. He's in the middle of a sentence. But that is how the world got exposed to Bill Nye, was like through like the science segments of the cartoon, because of course back then in like the late 80s, I want to say, because like I remember Reagan deregulated cartoons and everything, but like eventually they had to get them back in. And one of the things like that you had to get with animation back then was if it was on at a certain time and targeted towards kid, it had to have like a certain percentage of educational content.
Yeah, right.
And there was nothing educational about Back to the Future, the animated series.
So they threw in Bill Nye.
So
That's
they threw in some
amazing.
Bill Nye. Yeah, just here's some Bill Nye segments.
I had no idea.
It's cool. It's neat, and Bill Nye owes a lot to Doc Brown and Back to the Future.
That's
Heck
so
yeah.
funny, man.
I think Dan Castellaneta played Doc Brown in the cartoon, so he just sounds like Homer going, huh! I love dissecting this movie and making fun of it. I love it so much that it's okay to do that at this point. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not like, it doesn't ruin the movie for me.
It's such a great movie that, like, just like you're saying, like, you can poke holes in it for fun, and it doesn't take anything away from it. It's just
it can take it.
Yeah,
like that movie will still, it doesn't diminish how pure and fun and wholesome the movie is.
Right.
about a movie about a character trying to bang his mom.
Well, trying to not bang his mom.
Well, that's right. Yes, and that's the thing that people get wrong all the time. That's a good distinction, AJ. That,
Yeah,
like,
he's trying
everyone's
very
like, "Oh,
hard
this kid-"
not to.
He is not.
He is not into it at all.
No. Oh, the staging of this movie, like when he's talking about like when he's with George and they're on the clothesline and George's doing chores and he's like, "Oh, you mean you're gonna touch her on her?" And he has the bra in his hand to indicate like that's where Marty's gonna touch Lorraine, and he takes the bra away from him as if to like dismiss the idea completely and throws it in the basket. I'm like, this is so great. The Doc Brown and Marty McFly like blocking because Doc Brown's like 8 feet tall and Marty's like 4 feet tall, and so it's like, oh, it looks like Frodo and Gandalf, Marty. We got. It's gonna be a weird blocking situation. But they do that all the time. I want to say it's in 2. Yeah, it's Back to the Future 2 where Doc Brown keeps pacing back and forth up the street, and Marty is trying to catch up to him, so they just keep switching spaces about where they are. Just good stuff. Just really fun, clever crap that like you would never think of. And then 3 is a victory lap. That's why I like 3 so much.
Yeah.
3 is not deep. 3 is not exciting. It introduces like Clara Clayton, who I've always referred to as the Jar Jar Binks of the movie, but like I've warmed up to her a lot.
It's the Jamaican accent, I think, that does it for me.
I think it really does it. Yeah, yeah. It's the deep racial stereotype that I don't appreciate that Clara approximates in the 3rd act, which I barely loses the movie for me. But no, I like her a lot. She's fun. Mary Steenburgen is a fun addition to the cast. Though I don't know how many more movies I would have accepted. But it's a victory lap. You can see like they have. There's a role reversal. Like Doc Brown is now the kid who's learning about because he's like, oh, I'm in love, so now I'm an idiot, and like, Marty's the hard and fast. Like we gotta do what's right, Doc. We gotta do what a scientist would do, and that's cute. It's such a distinction that like they switch their taglines. Marty goes, "Great Scott," and Doc's like, "Yeah, it's getting heavy in here." It's awesome. It's like the Force Awakens of, it's like let's make callbacks and references to ourselves, but as a threequel, as a button at the end of our series.
I wonder how far in the past. Like obviously they love the Wild West, so that's why they would want to do that. But like I wonder if you could do anything before then because you're limiting the technology to get back, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, like, because you need to have the DeLorean be broken. That's like a staple of the movie franchise. It's like the DeLorean has to have. You can't just step on the gas and get to where you're going. It has to have some kind of a tension building, ridiculous, ornate situation. But like, the further back you go, it's like it needs the original premise of like getting the 1.21 gigawatts was like we're going to hit it with a nuclear explosion. Like we're going to bring the time travel device, which at one point was a refrigerator, and then we became the DeLorean. But like we're going to get it to like the nuclear testing site in Nevada. Like you lose Biff, you lose all the tension, you lose everything for that. It's like, but like you don't know any other lightning bolts the further back you go. Yeah, so like 1885, they're like, I guess the closest thing we can do is like a train.
A train, right? I don't know why it reminds me of this one episode of. It's not the same thing whatsoever, but they're like stuck in a situation. There's an old episode of the Transformers where, for whatever reason, I don't remember the situation behind it, but like they were traveled back in time, and they're like in like medieval times or whatever it was. So like
cool.
They were stuck and they were running low on energon, like their energy, and they needed a way to make more of it. And however it came about, it was like bird shit. They figured out a way to like transform bird shit into energy.
Energon.
It was like Starscream, I think, comes out and he's just like covered in bird shit at one point, or like a bunch of birds around him. I feel like it's like a fever dream where it didn't actually exist, but I remember seeing this episode a number of times.
This sounds like a failed attempt at an episode of something. This doesn't feel real.
But it would need to be something like that where it's like they need to invent the technology. If it wasn't a train, they would need to just completely like, the next closest thing would be like, hanging out with Ben Franklin or something like that. Or,
I guess
Nikola Tesla or something.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you got me. Ben! Great Scott. That's what I say. Well, we almost got it. We got Back to the Future 4 ready to go.
Shit. All right.
Yeah.
Now we just need to get those two guys off the books. Zemeckis, what's his face?
I love the idea. I love the idea of them going back to like the Revolution and like, oh no, the British are coming. Fucking Marty is Paul Revere. The redcoats are coming. It's just a weird, like, pro-America kind of like history lesson. Like Mel Gibson's like, yes, more. That's all right.
Yep, it's happening.
That's the movie they would have made in like when they made Men in Black 2.
Man, Men in Black 2 was
Sucks.
the worst movie. One of the worst
3
movies.
is pretty bad, but 3 looks like a TV movie. It's just not as horrible as 2. Like 2 is like
3 I felt was
3 is
okay.
It was better than 2.
Yeah. Like I could watch that one. 2, I was like, this
it's-
is insane.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, it does have some great. Like I love the flush me scene.
So we'll cross
Just
that
like,
off the list. We're not
Yeah,
talking
we're
about
fine. No, we're
Men in
fine.
Black 2.
We just did. That's all.
Yeah,
that's
it.
all the Men in Black 2 we're doing.
Yep.
Is that
The
It's
Ball
awful.
Chinians, and then
Done and
and then that
done.
was it.
Wow,
And the movie
yeah.
ended. Yep.
Yeah, you want to leave on a high note. Ball Chinians.
Yes.
And then the reveal is that his chin has balls on it.
Yep. And you got it.
Hilarious.
And then I think
Man.
it's age appropriate. Tommy Lee Jones does like a flying kick, I think, up into his
Yeah.
balls, I think.
Yeah, that's right. That's one of 2 decrepit men who do wire work to kick someone in the face. Because Rip Torn does it too.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about Rip Torn. That's right.
And it's
Yeah.
like, what is this director's like hard on for like getting old men up in the air to swing their legs into a person's face? It's just
It's
insane.
It's
You gotta
funny.
do what you gotta
It's
do.
funny.
It's hilarious. And you know what's even funnier than all that? A talking dog
Yep. Just
never fails.
It worked in the first one. Milk it.
Yeah, but don't you remember that was only about 3 minutes or less?
Yes. Yeah. No. Now he's the lead. Yeah.
Now the marketing is going to hinge on this effing dog.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Men in Black 2. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring that up.
I know. I think
All your fault.
me and my sister went to go see that in the theater.
I did. I definitely saw it in theater. I was like, oh yeah, Back to the Future. Or Back to the Future. Men in Black.
Men in Black
Great.
again.
Men in Black again.
Yeah.
MIB.
And they're bringing back Tommy Lee Jones because he's hilarious. Loved him in Batman Forever.
I can't sanction this buffoonery?
Oh yeah, I cannot sanction your buffoonery.
I love it. To Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Do you know that, AJ?
No.
It was like a dinner. So Jim Carrey was out at dinner, and Tommy Lee Jones was at another table or whatever. And so you can fill me in. I'm going to get parts of it wrong, but like,
Yeah, like Carrie and Lee Lee Jones were both like cast in Batman Forever, and so Carrie's like, "Oh, I'll go introduce myself to Tommy Lee Jones." So he goes over to his table, and Jones just like his expression immediately just drops upon seeing Jim Carrey, and Carrie's like, "Hey man, like we're gonna be working together. I'm a really big fan. I love your work." And he just goes, "I hate you so much." And Jim's like, why? Because Jim Carrey's like a weirdo who won't just leave the situation and be like, that was a weird day. And
Yeah.
He's like, what? Why? Why do you hate me? And he's like, I cannot sanction your buffoonery. Which is like, yeah, there's no way he didn't say that. That's the most
Absolutely.
Tommy Lee Jones line I've ever
absolutely.
heard.
Tommy Lee Jones was
I'm gonna
born
start
looking
saying that to my
88 years
kids.
old.
I cannot sanction your buffoonery.
He's
Yeah.
always serious.
And I love it because like when Jim Carrey he's told that story a couple times, and I love that I cannot sanction buffoonery is like a button at the end. Like the scene is the whole story is like him just telling Jim Carrey he hates him. But then one of the like talk show hosts is like, what did he say why? He's like, oh, he said I cannot sanction your buffoonery. And I'm like, that's the end of the scene.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I love that too because like then you go and watch that movie, and Tommy Lee Jones's performance is arguably more cartoonish than Jim Carrey's is. It's just like-
I choose now to watch it as though he's making fun of Jim Carrey. He's like, this is you, what you're doing.
This is what you look like.
yeah.
fart,
Yeah.
fart, fart. Look at me.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah. And Jimmy's like, keep it up.
I can do this all day.
I love the idea. I love the idea that the two of them were trying to one up each other. Like, that ain't me. That's not nearly far enough. Oh, you need me to go farther?
Oh my God.
And Jim's like, oh yeah, well I'll just do this then. I'll just hip thrust at everybody. And he's like, oh, hip thrusting? How about this? And Joel Schumacher's just like, Keep it
Yes.
Keep it rolling.
Yes,
I love
Happy
all of it.
Meals.
It's just symphony orchestra just coordinating all. That's it for this week, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a like, leave us a comment. What was your favorite out of the three? What's your favorite Back to the Future movie out of the franchise? Or did you like the cartoon? Like Sal's, I can't believe Sal's favorite
Sal
thing was the
loved
cartoon.
The cartoon.
It's true.
Like,
I do love the cartoon.
We
It's
disagree
amazing.
with Sal on that, but he swears by it. So it's, I don't know. Can't.
Yeah, I'm an Alf fan and a Back to the Future cartoon show fan.
You're
first.
a purist. Yep.
I am a purist. I love the cartoon.
Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Give us a like, give us a comment. Really helps us out. Check out, I'm going to take a second to plug. We've been doing live streams on the channel, and Justin live streams a couple times a week at night, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. He usually will just play video games, or he'll do some drawing. He's an insanely talented artist. He used to do caricatures like on the boardwalk. He lives in Jersey too, so
No way!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And like he's just like super. He just like he draws for a living and teaches and stuff. So, but he used to do that, which is insanely nerve-wracking to me because it would take me forever to do that. But anyway, super funny guy, plays video games, watches like retro commercials and shit on our stream. I stream on Sundays when I have time. So check those out if you can. They're fun. You guys got anything you want to plug?
We have a follower on YouTube who consistently mentions, please, hold on. What if I can pull up? Please do Freedom Planet next. They've said it on like our first episode
like
ever,
every single...
and then on multiple episodes they'll say, "Do Freedom Planet next." So I had to look up Freedom Planet.
Okay,
it's a video game that is originally
That's all the time
from...
we have for this week, guys. Thanks for watching.
It's originally from 2014, and the idea of it looks cool. It's basically it's a fan game of Sonic the Hedgehog, and it uses characters created by a DeviantArt user named Ziu Ling. And then it was like released for different platforms at different times. You can play it on the Switch as of like 2018 or something. But that's all I got for that, buddy. Like, thank you for being a fan and for consistently mentioning it. That's
Please
Freedom
keep
Planet
requesting it
as
too.
much as
We'll keep just keep commenting.
keep requesting it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, do you want us to play it? Like when we stream, maybe we could do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just talk about it. Read the wiki. Talk about the lore. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Thank you.
Can't help you.
I'm glad you looked that up because I didn't know anything about Freedom Planet.
No.
I wouldn't have
Yeah,
guessed that it was like a Sonic.
I thought it was Treasure Planet. I thought it was the
No.
animated movie. That didn't work out.
That's all. We like you. We hope you like us.
It's really unsafe of you to ride a skateboard and grab onto the bumper of a car. That was such a no-no that in Australia there was like a warning before the movie started. The Australians saying something is unsafe is like a joke. Because there's 1,000 deadly animals you could run into on the way to the grocery store, and your whole island is surrounded by great white sharks. Like, no, don't hang on to the back of a thing 30 years ago.